All right, here we go. Everybody heard me say that because the audio is already open. And welcome to Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name's Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire would be that amazing designers could find great players who love their games, and that great players could find amazing designers whose games they could love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but one of the main ways we do that is just sitting down with people whose games that we love or are excited about and playing them with them, which is what we are doing tonight. We are playing Reminders. Adrian, you are the creator of this game. Tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but give us the pitch for Reminders.
Okay, hi, I am Adrian Lumm, pronouns are he, they. I am an indie ttrpg designer, occasionally on stream here. You can find me online at Twitter at Arnivold, ARNIVOLD. You can also find my games at arnivold.itch.io. This is my 7th game that I've created, and the pitch for it is basically you are in a dark fantasy world, and you are heroic figures who wield the power of memory magic to go on dangerous quests and go help people.
Awesome. Sweet. I'm looking forward to it. Let's hear next from Jeremy Gage. Jeremy, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you on the internets.
Hello, beautiful people watching the stream. My name is Jeremy Gage. I am the host of the Draw Your Dice podcast, where we talk with the technicians, the entrepreneurs, and the managers of the tabletop role-playing scene on the indie side of the industry. And you can find me over on Twitter at JeremyGage5.
Awesome. And then joining us, we had, if you saw the tweet earlier today, we had David Sheridan, who was going to be joining us. David has some family issues, so please keep them in their thoughts. Had to take a loved one to get some medical care real quick. But in their place, jumping in all of 15 minutes ago, if that, is Aaron Gilly. Aaron, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online.
Hey everyone, Aaron Gilly. Find me online at Hey Gilly Gilly, where you'll see me usually just retweeting my much funnier friends. I am an organizational development person by day, an improviser and gamer by night, coming to you from Richmond, Virginia.
Awesome. Super excited to have you with us. And people are going to get to learn a little bit more about character creation probably through you as we kind of dive in here in a little bit. But we always use a couple of safety tools here on the channel. Lines, veils, and the X cards are the normal ones we use whenever we're playing, unless the system dictates otherwise. Lines are things that may happen in the world of the game but don't happen in our game. Our play doesn't cover them. They're off limits. Veils are things that might happen in the course of play, but are handled very delicately, or we kind of flash forward past them. Once they come up, we don't dwell on them, or we approach them in a specific way. And then the X card is the ability for any player at any point in time just to say X, or type in X privately to the GM, at which point we'll pause play. If we need to identify what the issue is, we'll identify what the issue is, and then we'll move forward in a different direction, but no explanation is required. With that said, we always have a strong line against sexual violence here on the channel, but we like to normalize the conversation around safety tools in place. So with that said, we had a little conversation before we started, but does anybody have any lines or veils that they want to add? And so, Adrian, why don't you share a little bit about some of the lines and veils we already set up?
Okay, so the lines that we currently have set up is we have racism and fantasy racism. Those are no-goes. We also have ableism, fatphobia, and body shaming. Those are also off the table. And yeah, I don't think we have any veils. I don't personally have any that aren't already covered. I personally do not make my games involve any kind of transphobia, queerphobia of any kind, no homophobia. Again, no racism, ableism, fatphobia, all of that's pretty much off limits for me. So that, and most of that's already covered by what everybody else has already discussed. So those are our lines for this session.
Awesome. Are there any caution warnings that we might want to give people?
Okay, so content warnings. There's going to be a fair amount of violence. There's going to be some cult activity. There's going to be some. There's also going to be basically demons, witchcraft, the sort of the like. Those are all things that we can expect from tonight's session.
Cool. Awesome. So we are gonna kind of step into that in just one moment. I'm gonna hand things over to you, Adrian, to take us in. I don't know if we're doing character introductions first and then catching Aaron up, or if we want to how we want to do that. But I'll let you kind of take us through all that.
So first, I say that you, Tony, and Jeremy ought to introduce your characters. Just give them a feel for who they are, the kinds of shenanigans that they've been up to before meeting up in this big city that you all live in. You all live in a fairly large city, and it is one of the very few places in the world that has a civilization this big with this many buildings and such. So it's simply referred to as the city.
Cool. I am playing as Trello, which I realized was totally in the back of my mind because we were talking about Trello boards earlier in the Brain Trust. Hello to all trustees. But that is the name of my character also too. Trello is the son of two powerful and well-established like magicians in the community. And when he was a slightly older child, probably in a preteen, their entire estate burnt down, and he felt, and he was the only one who survived that. He remembers watching the estate burning from the outside, but does not remember how he could have lived there. In another life, he might have risen to power and wealth and renown among the land, but instead, he mops the floor and clears the tables at the Chumhole Tavern, which is a dockside tavern that has a fighting pit, and we just kind of throw and mop all the blood and the scraps from the fighting pit and food kind of down into this one big empty spot in the middle of it called the Chum Hole. He sleeps by the fire whenever there is room, in the stables where there's not. But one night, the stars started speaking to him, and on a clear night, they told him their secrets and marked his skin. So he has a series of 8 stars that go in a pattern around his neck. And he believes that there are 7 other people like him, and if he can find them, he might become whole again. That's the general. That's kind of the ethos. That's what he's all about. Do you want to hear about spells now or spells later?
Well, 2 spells later.
Okay, cool.
I want to hear about Jeremy's character now, and then we'll work with Aaron.
Hello, my name is Hilda Barr. I have a very long trunk of dreadlocks that come down towards my belly when they're draped over my shoulder, with a giant headband that tears them to pieces. I am a pugilist by profession. I do fighting for entertainment and hire. I learned from my single mother when I was very young, watching her in the ring do the same thing I do now. She was a brave woman who always spoke her mind and was afraid of no man who would dare enter her ring. Unfortunately, her quick mouth got her the ire of a passing noble, and due to arson, I lost my mother in a fire. And ever since then, I've taken up the gauntlet to be as proud and as daring as her, while also unabashedly murdering any nobles who think they're above the law or the justices of the world. I provide the judgment for those who will not do it. Simple.
We just got to find out who's burning everyone's parents down. That's what we need to figure out.
Yeah, that is a question. That's something that.
Aaron, tell us about how your parents got burnt to death.
So, character creation is done with a tarot deck. Tarot cards feature quite heavily in this game. So, how Tony and Jeremy created their characters was I gave them each 4 tarot cards that they had to use to craft a backstory. Basically, by doing your own little tarot reading for your character. So, for Aaron, we are going to quickly generate a character and get some spells going off. So there are 4 steps to character creation for the 4 cards that you get each. Aaron's card, his identity card. This is the first card that Aaron will use to define sort of who his character is, just in essence, just like a general who are you. And for that card, Aaron has the world card. So, Aaron, go ahead and give us an idea of who your character is based on the world card.
You are muted.
I wasn't I? Yes. So can I go ahead and give my character a name, or does that part
Oh,
of the?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can. Yeah,
So
you can give your name, anything like
awesome.
those minor details.
Perfect. So my character's name is Celestia, Salessa. She, her pronouns. Celestia was the daughter of park keepers. The working poor, who, as in the family trade, tended to the parks there in the city, whether it be tilling flower beds, pulling weeds, general hands in the dirt. Um,
Okay.
and as a young girl, truly found a comfort in that. Kind of one that's like, oh, I love what we do, not knowing that how difficult it was to actually
You
sustain
know,
one's life.
in a way.
Yeah.
Okay. Second card is going to be the origin card. So this
Okay.
sort of gives a general
Okay.
view of your family history, your origins, things like that. And for your second card, you got the Nine of Coins, aka the Nine of
Okay.
Pentacles. I have a
Mm-hmm.
special deck that they're called coins, but
Mm-hmm.
Nine of Coins. So what kind of origin would you say you have?
So for her origin, Celesta would actually, while working a fairly poor life as a youngster, um, did come into accidental money, through finding some buried coins. Um, and I guess, sorry, some isn't the right word. A lot of buried coins, somewhere in the park. Someone who's doing really the most menial of garden labor found a lot of coins and is now has a for her age and station a little more financial independence than she was surprised to have.
Okay, sounds good. Third card is going to be the Sorcery card.
Okay.
So all characters and reminders are spellcasters. They know they have the power to use magic, using their memories as a personal source of power to draw from. Um, this sorcery card sort of determines how you came into how you learned how to use magic.
Okay.
And so for that, we have the Five of Cups.
Five of Cups. Let's see here. So for the Five of Cups, this is just a perfect linear path for this. In a moment of what she considered to be affluence, um, the the task that she had working in this park, she forgot to do, out of excitement of these coins that she found, and so the beautiful plants that she was tending to didn't get watered or fed, and they died pretty quickly. And it really ruined that section of um, of her work, but that was also her family's identity, and that was not only just a work fail, but also a personal failure, that she had to be quickly associated with for something that, she should have normally been able to do.
Okay. And how did that lead to her developing magical powers?
She had a fear how I won't this turmoil, this internal turmoil triggered something within her to not make that same mistake again. That transformative personal change wasn't just some sadness that she got over. It unlocked something in her to be able to now do what she does.
Okay. And that leads to our final card, the Purpose card, which that this is now, what are you doing now? Why are you a reminder? Why are you going on these quests, these adventures?
Mm-hmm.
What is motivating you to do that? And for that, you have drawn the Hierophant.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So I think that she now has to challenge herself to do better and to look for mastery, I believe, not excellence or perfection or but mastery um, in her craft. And so she's still a person of the garden, still a person who believes in the toil of the earth, but now knows that I have to master this and be on top of it of her game at all times, and to really have that commanding presence in what she's doing.
Okay.
I think it's horrible that the city magistrates burnt your family at the stake for your failure in the gardens also too. That's it's incredibly sad.
Yeah, it seems a little draconian in terms of a punishment.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. So, now that we have your 4 memories in the form of this tarot spread, we now have a sounds like a really awesome character.
Oh.
Now, for each card, we have to craft a spell that you can cast.
Okay.
So these spells come from your memories. They come from your emotions from your memories. So, if you have the major arcana cards already have spells lined out. So
Yep.
there's no like for the world you have bring peace, for the hierophant you have command authority. So those are 2 powers that you can use already. But for the 9 of coins and the 5 of cups, you must come up with an emotion that you associate with each of those with each of those memories, and then from those take several keywords. There's a whole guide in the book that describes the possible words you can use to just craft a 2-word spell that you can then interpret however you want.
Yeah. So for the origin, for the 9 of Pentacles, I chose joy as the emotion, and then the corresponding spell of transform earth.
Okay. And transform earth, in terms of gameplay, that could mean like literally anything. You could actually take like dirt and turn it into something, whatever you want. You could, if there was like a big monster that was made of stone or something like that, you could transform that into something else. Like you have basically free creative reign with how your spells manifest.
Yeah.
And for your sorcery card, the 5 of cups.
All right. For that one, I chose the emotion of fear. And from that, I took the spell of enhance water.
Enhance water. Okay, I like it. It sounds a little unconventional. Like that's kind of what I like about it, is that whatever you can come up with that fits those 2 words, totally just go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with our characters created, I think we can get started on our adventure. Does anybody have any questions? Any comments? Anything they want to share?
Did you want hear our spells also too? I'm fine. I mean, I know you know them because they're in the chat.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and tell everybody. So, what are Trello's spells?
I've got totally normal busboy spells. And so let me pull those up here because I have them written down on a different tab than is currently up. Jeremy Gage is messaging me hilarious things. All right, here we go. I have normal busboy spells: create magic, banish magic, summon law, and command death.
All right. And what about Hilda? What sort of spells does Hilda have?
Hilda's spells are transform fire, entrap chaos, destroy magic, and banish memory.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So, where we are going to start. So, in the city, this is a very large, very old city. The inhabitants of this place have been here a very long time. Civilizations have risen and fallen. The city has been here for longer than anybody can remember. So the current government, the current people who live here, they're not the first to have lived in this city. In fact, over 1,000 years ago, it is said that the first king settled here after finding it completely abandoned and there was a restoration project, there was expansion, but like the whole core of this city is so ancient that like nobody knows where it actually came from. But we are going to start our adventure in the Chum Hole, which is Trello's place of work.
It's one of the most, I'm not going to lie, on the docks, it's one of the top 5 most popular chum-based establishments.
Chum-based establishments. I love the implication that there's more than 5 of those that exist in this city.
Oh, there's actually only 3, but it's still only in the top 5. Like, there are 2 other ones that are actually ranked twice before the Chum Hole gets picked.
All right. Sounds good. Let's see. We have Trello. This is just a normal work day for you. You're here at the Chum Hole. You are bussing tables. You are putting things. You're putting trash away while there's a fighting pit going on. I don't know, what are Hilda and Celestia doing here in this tavern?
Celestia?
I want to say that Celestia is outside watching the trash being taken out. Celestia has a vested interest in making sure that the trash goes where the trash goes, as not to ruin the pristine nature of possibly any kind of landscape around them. And so she has a very vested interest in keeping an eye on that garbage, making sure it goes where it's supposed to go.
It's just like one of the things where lots of the time, like, I'll drop the fantasy dumpster lid and then turn around and you're right behind me.
Mm-hmm. And Celestia makes comments like very passive aggressive comments like, "Gosh, I hope that everything that went in the compost went in the compost. I sure hope that happened."
I mean, everything that can be composted goes into the Chum Hole.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure it did. I'm sure that everything went where it was supposed to go, right?
Yeah. I mean, are teeth compostable?
I don't know. Are they?
I mean, that's not helpful at all, but okay.
What about Hilda? What's Hilda doing here?
Hilda is sort of picking through the last of her rabbit that she's ordered from Trello. And kind of as Trello comes in from the outside, taking out the garbage. When do you think the next fight will be? Has anyone come through and said they could beat up a simple woman? Because I would love to show them otherwise.
That probably within the next hour or so, I would imagine.
That's a very loaded question.
Yeah. No. I mean, no one has come through saying that they could beat up a simple woman.
I'm a legend. People think that they can defeat me just because I am, but that is not the case.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like Mouthy Jim will probably be drunk before too long and will say something that will warrant a fight.
It's classic Mouthy Jim.
He's contributed quite a few compostable teeth into the local flower beds, and so big fan.
Celestia, you have to announce yourself when you come up behind someone. I don't appreciate being snuck up on. I'm skittish. You know this.
Right. So Celestia kind of has like a Stevie Nicks vibe. And so she hears that comment a lot. Like, sorry, I was too busy being flowy and whimsical to remember to do that. My apologies.
Come, sit. We haven't talked in a while.
Oh. Well, sure, I can do that. I'll sit. Hi, Hilda.
Adrian.
you're having your conversations in your little meetup, and Trello is working when suddenly the doors open very slightly, very like trying to be unassuming as possible, and there are three individuals who are cloaked head to toe in these black robes with hoods over top of them,
Mhm.
and one of them has like a piece of parchment rolled up in their hand, and these three individuals just walk into the tavern very quietly, and they just start shuffling to one of the walls. And there is one of them takes a hammer and a nail, and the other one like takes up the parchment, and they just start loudly thudding this notice onto the wall.
Sir,
And
sir, we have a firm no solicitation policy. There is a community board in the back, near the piss hole, which is distinct from the chum hole. Please don't get the two confused. Things go where they go, apparently. But yeah, you can put that up in the back.
they start they stop for a moment, and then they look over to you, and like
pointing.
they're just completely shrouded. You cannot see like any facial features whatsoever on these people.
Trello,
And
do
then
you have people coming into Martin Luther this place very often?
I mean, that guy he nailed stuff up on the door. Usually those are annoying in the morning, but rarely happen during business hours. Yeah, community boards in the back. You are terrifying, but you do. I mean, it is a normal chumhole policy.
They kind of look, and then they take it down, and then they, without saying a word, they shuffle back over towards the community board, and then they pin this big ass piece of parchment. It's big; it like easily dwarfs all the other ones of the community board.
Hmm.
And the proprietor actually comes out after hearing all the hammer and nails. Your boss, Trello, his name is Donick. He goes, "Hey, what the hell's going on out here?" And he sees these three robed individuals who, again, they're not saying anything. They just leave after they've affixed their notice to the community board.
I don't know if they were firemen or women or people, or if they were there was a community. Somebody wanted to put something up on the community board. They apparently didn't know where it was. Hold on, I'll go check what it was.
Yeah, he's like, and Donna goes, "That thing's hitting, like that thing's huge. Like what, like do something with it. I don't care if you toss it in the chum hole, but just see what's up with it."
Yeah, I mean, we'll give him the old, like posted for a week before it's taken down treatment. I'll go over and read this giant proclamation.
So there's a strange symbol at the top of the paper. It says, it looks like a crown with a snake that is coiled around it. And it says, "The children of the serpent are seeking individuals willing to assist us with a goal we believe will benefit the town. If interested, please join us at the temple on the southern outskirts of town at sundown."
Hmm.
There's
no reason this needed to be this big.
Yeah, no, this is like big, like written in big fancy calligraphy. Like it's meant to be eye popping.
I wonder how many of these they made.
Production cost.
Yeah, I'm like walking back out to the middle with it, like headed towards the chum hole. As I walk past, is it? I forgot to write it down. Is it Celestia? Celestia. As I walk past Celestia and Hilda, and it's have y'all heard of this? Is it Children of the Serpent?
Could I make like a mind roll to decide how much I know about the serpent peeps?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. So what's going to happen is, you have your array of stats. So Aaron, real quick, you have a 3, 2 2s, and a 1 to distribute between strength, agility, presence, and mind. And once you've done that, add +1 to any of the 4. Jeremy, what is Hilda's mind?
It is 2.
Okay. So 2. I'm going to give you an advantage because you have lived in this city more or less your whole life. So if there were a cult about that, you would most likely know that. So I'm going to give you an advantage, which is an extra dice, which is an extra d6 to add to your pool. So Reminders uses a dice pool. What essentially that happens is you take your stats and whatever number that is, that's how many dice you roll. If you have an advantage, which is anything in the fiction that gives you a bonus, you add a dice to that. If any disadvantages come up, you take dice out of the pool. And they stack with each other, they cancel each other out. You definitely want to be rolling more dice. And on a 6, it's a success. On a 4 or a 5, it's a success, but there's a complication. And on a 1 to a 3, then something goes wrong. And it's always the highest number of the dice pool you roll. So go ahead and roll
Alright.
d6 and tell me what your highest number is.
My highest number is a 3.
A 3. So that is a failure, which means you got nothing. You don't have any idea.
I've never heard of them. Who makes their icon a crown and a serpent? Why put inorganic and organic on same paper? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was 100% my thought also too. Sure. I'm Celestia, is this compostable?
Can I do also a mind roll for that too?
If it's compostable.
What is your mind at?
2.
Okay.
The local fantasy garbage police are very restrictive.
Same deal. Roll 2d6 with an extra die added in because you've lived here your whole life.
Okey doke. All right. My highest roll was a 5.
Okay, so success with a complication. So you know of the Children of the Serpent. They are there's something of a secretive cult. They worship some sort of deity known only as the Serpent. I'm gonna say the complication is they know who you are. And you've had dealings with them before, and before they leave the establishment, they kind of look over, like one of them just kind of looks at you and says, "I hope you'll help us, Celestia," before leaving.
Did you let their garden die, Celestia?
I mean, all kinds of people used to walk in the park and kind of step over us. I mean, it's very possible that I said something to them one day if they, stepped on my pigtails as I was gardening. Oh, she has pigtails too. That's canonical.
Perfect. I love it.
It's like I don't know how they know who I am. We weren't allowed to wear name tags on our uniforms in the park. There's a whole different pay band.
All right. Well, I guess with that information, I toss it in the chum hole.
Alrighty.
Quest ignored.
Did you? I mean, I just was doing what my boss told me to do. We can totally do this quest. I just, I figure temple on the south side of the city at sunset is not the hardest thing. Like, I don't have a lot of appointments in my calendar. Very few of them at temples on the south side of the city. Almost none of them at sunset. So it's pretty easy to memorize.
Alrighty.
Unless that was not the information, at which point we're gonna go to the wrong temple and get a completely different mission.
Hey, you got it right.
Did y'all want to go check it out?
I was going to make some sort of roast, but I can put it off for now. Let me beat this guy up real fast, and then we can go.
Okay, and I'll ask Mouthy Jimmy some sort of innocuous question that will invariably lead to a fight happening between Hilda and
I told you to keep your mouth shut, Mouthy Jim. Crash, crash, table, crash.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my.
Completely. This is just a normal. This is a normal occurrence here. Everybody in the tavern is used to Mouthy Jim getting his shit kicked in.
Yeah. Like the reason they call him Mouthy Jimmy is because he doesn't have any teeth. He's just
Gum Jimmy.
But he's talking all the time.
They're all gone.
And so,
in a way, I'm glad that he doesn't change because he's kind of a fixture of the bar at this point. Like, if he didn't get demolished all the time, this place would go downhill.
Right. Like it's the only thing that keeps us at the bottom of the top 5 chum lists on the docks is Mouthy.
The only thing that keeps us on the bottom.
Hanging on by a gummy mouth. Let me talk to what was my boss's name?
Donick.
I'm gonna go run an errand real quick. I'll either be back later on tonight or in a couple of weeks.
And he just goes, "You reminders think you can just take a vacation whenever you want to." All right, fine, but if you don't come back, if you don't come back within a couple of days, I'm getting a new sweeper.
Sure. Like I also I don't think Donick pays me. I think this is just like you can sleep by the fire and eat whatever crusts are left on tables type thing. So
nice.
It's the reason that this job is always here when I get back, no matter how long it takes me to go do something. And so I'll pick up the little bit of rabbit left on Hilda's plate as we head out.
Sweet, sounds good. Let's see. So, real quick, this is just an explanation of the rules. So, I as the GM don't have to roll any dice. However, I have a hand of tarot cards that I keep. So I start out with a number of cards equal to the number of players, which is 3. So, at any point in time, I can play a card to introduce a complication or a twist into the story, or inflict a disadvantage on somebody's dice roll,
okay,
or to activate an enemy's secret special ability. When I do this is how your spells refresh. So when you cast a spell, I get to draw a card. When I play a card, you get to refresh one of your spells, and it becomes usable again. So,
boom, sweet.
That was just a real quick little blurb because I forgot to explain that before we started. But I do have this hand of cards that I can play at any moment.
Excellent.
So 3 of you decide you're going to meet up and to kind of go together. You figure for a job like this, you'll probably need to be armed. So I just would like to know what kind of gear and weapons and armor do you all have in your possession right now?
I've got to hear Hilda's at this point. I have to hear
it. I have these. I usually use just my hands against a normal problem like Mouthy Jim, but against a more extreme creature or abomination or someone who really deserves it, I have these 2 metal gauntlets that have candlestick holders in them, and inside are oil contraptions. So I slip my hands underneath and I pull them off into boxing gloves, essentially. And I can use flint and the candles to make flame on them.
Okay, so I'm going to count those as one-handed deadly weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was fine if you were going to rule it hand to hand, but, great, cool, 2 damage.
Yeah, definitely.
I have only things that have been left behind in the bar that have been left and lost and found. So every time I go out, I have something different with me, and it is never the same. I'm going to roll 2 dice and tell you the only item that I always have is I have a barrel lid that has a handle on it that I use as a shield. And then whatever's in Lost and Found. And I rolled a 6 and a 2. So let's go ahead and say that I have, I find in Lost and Found this ornate, like amulet, that is kind of bristling with magical power, but I don't have any idea what it does. And I find like a kind of old rusty knife.
Okay.
And those are the 2 things I pull out of the Lost and Found this time.
Okay, perfect. What kind of weapon does Celestia have?
So Celestia has what used to be a functioning garden hose that she has fashioned into a whip. And so like there's a thick metal little knot at the end of this thing that would where the washer is goes to there. That hurts if you get hit with it. And so she holds it by the sprayer handle and uses it as a whip. And that is her weapon. She's had this thing since she was a child and can use the heck out of it and snap it just the right way. So that's her primary weapon.
Okay. And then before we start the adventure proper, I will need to calculate hit points, everybody. Which for that is you roll 2d6 and add your strength to the total.
I have 10.
Also 10.
12.
Okay. 12. All right. Good numbers.
I like how the hulking beefy woman has as many hit points as the small wisp of a boy and the pig-tailed girl. That's exactly how it has more than both of us.
Yeah.
How the dice fall. All right, so you find your way to this very old, dilapidated temple. It's very clear that the Children of the Serpent are not its first residents. Whatever god was once worshipped here is long forgotten, and now now the serpent is worshipped here. There are black-robed individuals at sundown who are gathered. There are several braziers of fire on the outside, and several of them are gathered. There's one who wears the black robes, but also has this very ornate-looking amulet in the shape of a snake that is coiled around something.
I look down and double check that it's not the same as the amulet I'm wearing because that would be embarrassing.
No, yours is like a yours is just like it's like a wooden amulet with like a small gem inlaid into it.
That's
so
great. Whew. Sometimes you got to double check those things on your way into a room.
You do, absolutely. There's the one who is wearing the amulet, sees the 3 of you and stops what he's doing, and he points a finger, sort of almost accusatorily, and says, "You 3 are the ones I saw in my dream." They take off their hood. They have long hair, a clean face, and they have multiple piercings all over, like nose and lip and eyebrow piercings. They say to you, "I am Vald, speaker for the Children of the Serpent. I have a quest that requires brave warriors to see it through, and the Serpent granted me a vision of 3 who would arrive. Could that be you, I wonder?"
Hi. I didn't have the dream. Did it look like us?
3 figures, humble, though very powerful, who now stand before me, yes.
Hey, quick
I'm anything but humble.
Quick question. Your friends knew my name. Tell me more about that.
We've been watching you, Celestia, how you tamed the garden, and we saw what happened to your family. We're very sorry for what happened.
Yeah, it's I like to think I do my best, and I can always improve, but I will always do my best in the garden. You've seen my work?
We have. We've seen the work you have done, and we have seen the work you have undone.
The work I've undone. That's okay. That's not as nice as the first thing you said.
He simply says, we have been watching you, child, and we know of your power.
Oh, she blushes a little bit.
I give Celestia a high five.
But so you put out the high five, but I put out the fist pound awkwardly because I didn't know what you were going to do, and it just makes a turkey.
Ah, the classic.
Well, if the three of you are interested, I shall tell you what you must do.
Go on.
Okay.
This city, as you may know, is very old. Its bones are among the first of mankind's settlements since the dawn of time.
It's a weird way to
The
put that, but
serpent
okay.
has revealed to me the city's purpose. Long ago, a powerful demon lord was sealed beneath the ground underneath this very city. Its foundation acts as a lock that holds this demon in place. There have been strange gatherings of the sort that have been happening in the catacombs under the city. There may be those gathering in the shadows who would see the demon unleashed. We ask you if you'd be willing to go underneath and investigate.
Like down the chum hole.
That is one way into the catacombs, I suspect.
I'm sorry. I have a question. You are. Do you have documents to prove what is you're asking us to do? Hector, was it?
Vald. My name is Vald.
Oh, I thought you said your name. I must have been listening to the wind. I'm sorry. Do you have documents to prove this demon existed, Demon Lord? I just want to make sure that we're not going in downstairs into another chumhole, because I already have a chumhole back in the city. I want to make sure that what we're doing is worth our time.
I have only what the serpent has revealed to me. That should be good enough.
Seems
However,
pretty coincidental.
If the safety of the city isn't enough of an enticing offer for you, we do have several treasures that might attract one such as you. Wealth.
Hold on just a second. I like you put our three heads together. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I could use some treasure. Also, I do live here now, and I don't know if the city's gonna burn if we don't do this, but I would like it to not burn, and I feel like if we do this, it will maybe not burn. Like, I'm not gonna set the city on fire this time.
That seems like a threat a little bit. Trillo?
No, I'm saying I'm not going to. I'm saying I could use the money. I'm saying I don't know if the city is in danger, but if I don't think doing this is going to make the city more in danger.
I'm just pulling the guy's leg. You know how this is. They ask for a grand quest. They want us to go into a dark hole. Like
Every time. Oh.
Classic scenario. We've done this before. We have magic, right?
Well, I guess I only have more to prove if Hector over here thinks that I've had work that's been done, then I guess I have some more to prove.
Hey, he's not Hector. I'm Hector.
all right, Hector. I'll tell you what. We'll do it.
Very well. The catacombs have many entrances within this city.
What's the closest one?
Didn't you ask us to come to this temple? I assume this is one of the entrances to the dungeon.
Yeah.
What gave you that impression?
Okay, see now who's pulling whose leg? I'm don't make me upset now. You don't want to pull a mouthy Jim.
This organization could do to hire some sort of logistics consultant. I'm just going to put it out there.
Where's the customer experience that we've been looking for when it comes to cults? It's certainly not this one, this serpentine thing. No one cares about user experience anymore. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, if this isn't it, that's fine. That's okay. This is where y'all guys hang out. Where is it? Do you know where one is, or we're just supposed to find one?
Well, if you really want to, you can go through one of the mausoleums in one of the graveyards. However, those are heavily guarded, and I doubt the guards will let you through.
I have an idea. Hey, step back, everybody. Watch this. I want to cast Transform Earth and create our own opening into where we need to go.
Okay. Mark that spell as spent, and I draw a card. And absolutely. How do you create this entrance into the? How do you transform Earth to create it into an entrance?
So Celestia does a thing where she puts her hands up in the air, then like shoves them down towards the ground, not hitting the ground, but like double fist facing the ground, and like there's this connection between the ground and her fists. And then she just moves her hands apart like Doctor Strange style, like drumline Nick Cannon style, and opening into the ground appears and says, "Oh look. Our entrance has arrived."
So is it Doctor Strange into Nick Cannon, or is it like a blend of the two?
It's a blend of the two.
Okay.
It's some drumline flair mixed with some arcane magic.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Do you make stairs out of earth, or is it just a slope?
It's just a slope.
Excuse me.
It is just a slope.
Okay. All right. So you have created a slope into the earth that just leads directly into the catacombs.
Yeah, but it's a safe slope. It's like a, probably
it's an OSHA approved slope.
Yeah, it's like 55-degree slope. Safe for stepping.
Last one down is a rotten egg, and I'll slide down the newly soft dirt.
Hey, I just want to point out, we just did you a solid. You got a catacomb entrance now at your temple. You didn't have it before.
Yeah, and you hear me yell out, "You're welcome!" as I follow Hilda down into the tomb.
We're going to talk about revenue sharing soon.
I slowly walk down, looking back and gently waving, 3 too many times for it to seem normal.
All right. You are now in pitch darkness. But you eventually reach your sliding down this slope of earth. You eventually hit solid ground, and you find yourself in the catacombs.
The letters appear right in front of us. The catacombs.
in smoke, and then they wisp away.
Yeah. I like to break immersion as much as possible.
I can tell, and I love
it. I'm assuming it's dark down here, and none of us can see, right?
I'll light up my gauntlets and put the candles up.
Nice.
So you got a light. So.
I look around at Hilda and Trello and say, it's really lucky that we went right into the catacombs, because this is a big city, and this is very lucky on our part.
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
I was worried you were going to hit a sewage line. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Irrigation ruined.
you've completely destabilized the entire city's plumbing system.
We will fix that later.
Quest number 2. So we're down in the catacombs. We got some light going. What do we see around us?
Well, you see a lot of holes in the wall that have skeletons, wrapped up bodies. Some of the more affluent ones from whatever civilization was here before, they're dressed up in. They might be dressed up in like sarcophagi of some sorts, but most of it's just bodies in holes, just little skeletons. Very, very old skeletons.
Do y'all remember what we were supposed to do down here?
I sure don't.
We're supposed to defeat the demon lord. What just happened to my voice?
Hilda.
The strange magic's in here.
Okay, but we don't actually know where you know what? It's okay. I'll take care of it. I'm gonna walk over to one of these skeletons. Or maybe I'll find 2 that are near each other, and I'm gonna cast Command Death.
Okay.
And I want to ask these 2 skeletons where the demon lord is down here.
Okay, so what does this look like? You got these 2 skeletons in front of you. How does your spell work?
Yeah, I think, command, and one of the things I love about the magic system is it's situational. So I think in this situation, like it's like I like touch my tongue and like put a sigil on each of their foreheads, and then I spit in each of their mouths and command them to speak.
And like these jawbones just start wiggling, and they're like, what do you want? What do you want with me?
I want you to ask your Lord Death where the demon lord is dwelling down here in the catacombs.
And then there's just my Lord Death.
Yeah, like the specter of death, the one who came for your soul at the end of your life, who pulled you into the underworld.
Him.
Like you just snuck by them on the way back here to talk to me. Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I want you to roll presence to see what you can get out of this. And I'm going to play the card, the King of Swords, which that is going to what that is going to do is you're going to take a die out of your pool. You get a disadvantage for this. These skeletons don't seem to have any memory of basically what the afterlife is like. So you're really extrapolating here to roll presence.
I rolled a 5.
A 5. So you still got a success, but with a complication. So these skeletons are like, I'm so confused. Are you trying to find where the demon lord is situated? Because we know that that happened at the center of town, the center of the city.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically what we needed. And yeah, now that you say that, I think we already had that information. How are you doing?
And you've woken us up from what was supposed to be our peaceful rest. How could you?
Is it nice?
I don't remember. I wish I knew.
I mean,
and the skeleton starts to radiate some sort of unknown power. It seems that as a byproduct of your spell, there's just this residual power that is encroaching, and several skeletons start to climb out of their holes in the wall.
If I can, in response to like the swelling before the skeletons engage, I'd like to cast Destroy Magic to end Trello's effect. If that is the narrative that you are painting here.
It is. So 1 sec. We'll say that Celestia, you get your Transform Earth spell back because I played a card.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
So that spell is refreshed to you. You cast Destroy Magic. That silences the original 2 skeletons. They drop. Unfortunately, the rest of the power is out of your hands, and you now have several skeletons that are climbing out, and let's just say they don't look too happy.
Since you played it on my roll for Command Death, do I get Command Death back?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I mean, I could just tell these guys to go.
Yeah. Do it again.
You're with us now. No, it's not as much fun. No, it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my rusty knife and say, "Stop!"
At this point, Celestia wants to cast Bring Peace and say, "No, let them go back to their eternal resting place that you interrupted just for small talk." And she wants to cast Bring Peace.
Okay.
I interrupted it for directions. Let it be known.
There was purpose to my interruption.
Okay, so you wave your hands over and you cast Bring Peace.
Yes.
I'll just say flowers start sprouting on the ground, deep underground. And these skeletons at first they were getting ready to fight. These skeletons were getting ready to whip some ass. But suddenly, this sort of deathly peace just washes over them, and they just crumble. And they're so old. These are really, really old skeletons. They just basically crumble to dust.
Oof. Ooh, I did not mean to make them that peaceful. But I didn't mean to ruin the battle for you, Trello. Or
oh no, that's great. I really didn't have a follow-up move other than stop.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's save our strength for.
I hear. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I hear bone meal makes pretty good fertilizer. I've heard.
So I scoop their bone dust up in and put it in my pocket.
Okay, sounds good.
That bone dust is going to be so important later.
So you think about it, you're on the outskirts of town, so it's going to be you're going to have to navigate these catacombs.
Yeah, we really should have gone to the center of town and gone down the town well. Probably, it's fine. I'm sure the streets look the exact same down here as they do above.
Celestia, could you do another tunnel for us?
Going up?
Going through.
Oh. So are we in the catacombs, or do we have to make more holes?
You're in the catacombs, so
I mean, we can just kind of generally wander townward.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is you really have to pay attention or else you're going to get lost, and it's also kind of hard to tell which direction is townwards.
Good point.
I'm going to play a 10 of Swords card, and I'm going to reveal that there is there's sort of a problem. The 10 of Swords represents a sort of conflict, like a finality almost. There is a consequence to your little tunnel that you've created, and structurally it's not very sound. Your magic was the only thing keeping this thing. You hear some rumbling in the distance, and you hear part of the catacombs that you're in are starting to cave in.
We should just
You
run.
need to get out now.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna stick.
Wherever you decide to go, you have to head out.
I'm gonna stick my barrel top shield over my head and just start booking it generally center of townward.
Okay. For all of you, let's see. Actually, Trello, since you're leading this little foray, I want you to roll mind to see
Okay.
how well you can navigate everybody through the catacombs.
I rolled a 5 again.
A 5?
Mhm.
Okay. So we'll say that's a success. You have some idea where you're going. You like parts of the catacombs just start caving in, and you just hear cracking and crumbling of earth.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of like Trello starting down a tunnel and then it starts to cave in. I'm like, oh yeah, no, not that way. And just like
Yeah.
it's a little bit of like, okay, I know generally direction of town, and this is the path that hasn't caved in as we move towards it.
So I will say that your success gets you closer into town, into our next scene. The complication, I will say, is that the way back is completely caved in. So you are essentially trapped in here.
Hilda, I should have listened to you.
It's fine. It could have happened to any tunnel. It feels like fate is playing against us, so I'm not too worried about it. Although, to be safe, if there are multiple entrances into the catacombs, there has to be also then multiple exits.
Right.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
you know, like you made a hole one time, you know.
Make a hole up. We'll be out in a jiffy niffy.
Yes.
Jiffy Niffy. I love it.
What? No one else says jiffy niffy? What's happening here? All right, let's go. Let's go into the catacombs.
Yeah, shall we?
We shall.
You continue, and you almost swear that you hear footsteps, like hurried footsteps. Yeah. They don't approach you; they're just passing by through another hallway.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. That's unsettling.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm gonna
We continue on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what I call an inspiration draw, so I can draw a tarot card for a story prompt real quick.
Okay.
In case, because I don't like planning. I'm gonna be honest; it's one of my least favorite things as a GM. So I put it in there so we can just go by the cards. The card I drew is the Page of Swords. So I'm gonna say you meet a fellow adventurer down here. You meet a young woman by the name of Hortensia.
Oh. Would we recognize? Can I roll to see if we recognize Hortensia?
I'm gonna say she's a stranger.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that.
Hello, yeah. Helen. Well met.
And then she kind of pauses and like looks over and she sees the three of you. She's like, "What are you three doing here?"
We took a job from the snake people to come down here and defeat the old one. I look over at Trello and say, "Trello, is that right?"
Yeah.
In character.
How about you?
I'm just here looking for you know what? That's not important. You said you were sent by snake people.
Well, I mean, okay, you say it's not important, but that was just a very direct question that we just answered for you.
Yeah. Turnabout is fair play.
Fair enough. Let's see. We're gonna play the sun.
Oh, I just lost audio. Adrian?
Do you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to play the Seven of Swords. So this complication is that Hortensia is hiding something. Definitely hiding something that she doesn't want anybody to know about. You see that she's carrying a sack on her back, and there's a sword at her side, and she is very reluctant to tell you what's going on.
I will cast Command Authority. And this is right. I look at Hortensia and say, No. Fess up. Tell us. Why are you down here? What's going on?
Okay. Go ahead and roll presence.
Okay.
And because you cast a spell, you get to add a die to your pool.
Yay. All right. My highest was a 5.
5. Alrighty. So you have this sort of authoritative presence about you, and it's almost magical in that sense. And she just suddenly feels strongly compelled to tell you the truth. And she says, "Okay, fine. If you must know, I am a grave robber."
Oh. No shame in that.
Okay.
Cool. We have no
I'm
feelings
here.
about that.
I mop blood and feces and broken teeth and leftover food into a hole. I'm not here to judge your profession.
She's like, "I heard that there were treasures to be found down here in the catacombs, and I'm here to do that and go home and not have anybody find out. So you need to keep this a secret, please."
Hey, finders keepers, you know what they say?
Yeah. And if you can, watch out for some figures who are robed in red.
Oh.
Some pictures?
No, some figures, like all the figures that we saw earlier robed in red.
I'm sorry, it's really echoey in here.
What are the red robed figures doing?
I don't know. They're muttering amongst themselves. I think I hear whispering in these halls. I think they're trying to summon the dead or something. They might be involved in some weird necromancy or maybe demon worship. I don't know.
Who would ever summon the dead?
Yeah, we certainly haven't done that.
Do you know how to just not like we know what we're doing. We 100% know what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
We're on it. Do you know how to get to the center of town down here?
This is like the center of town. And like she points in like a general direction. She says, "I'm pretty sure it's that way. If you want, I can tell you like where I came out of, but you're gonna have to sneak past the guards if you do. If you want to get out and
so the cemetery.
Way. Yeah, the cemetery, and that's how I got here. And the place is heavily guarded, and I managed to sneak by. And if you want to go out that way, I'll tell you where it is, but you'll have to sneak past the guards."
No, everyone knows that one. That's no fun.
Yeah. Also, I don't sneak. I'm not the sneaky.
I can tell. Just be careful, because sometimes the dead like to walk around these places.
I mean, that'd be weird.
Yeah. Super awkward if dead got up.
Yeah.
But that would be a new thing to happen to us, though. That certainly hasn't happened yet.
Never before.
Yeah.
I've not seen it one time in my life.
Nary have I.
Okay. I mean, so you're good?
Yeah, as long as you don't follow me and you don't tell anybody of what I do.
Okay.
What was your name?
You know what? It's not important anymore. I think it's high time we parted ways.
This is Hector's sister, Hortense.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Hortense.
Hortensia.
Hortensia.
We're just bad at names. Here's I want to give you this, and I give her like a very crudely carved wooden coin that's like a free drink at the chum hole.
Great.
Thanks for your help.
And she's just gonna nervously take it, and then she's just gonna scurry out of there.
Yeah.
Into the darkness.
One free bread basket.
A bread bowl.
free beer in fine print underneath with an order of at least 30 coin worth of food.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate it.
We're gonna head jitterily in the direction she pointed.
All right, you come into a wide open area. There is what was a series of winding tunnels and hallways. Now there's just a big, wide open spot, and you see several of these red-robed figures that Hortense had warned you about, and there are fiery braziers lit all around. There's like candles scattered in a circle. This place is lit up well enough that you won't be needing the candlestick hands of Hilda.
Hey, when they're on, they're on. There's no turning them off.
Right.
I mean, I guess we should just check in with these guys, right? Hey, Hector sent us down to help out.
And like these red-robed individuals, just like they look over in shock because they can't believe somebody just waltzed into their little secret area that they've planned. And there are 4 of them, and one of them just says, "They bear the mark of the serpent. They must die."
Where do we have the mark of the serpent on us? We didn't do that.
Yeah.
They're making assumptions.
Yeah.
You stink of the serpent. You've cavorted with their superiors.
Wait,
Oh,
we
we have
didn't even
done that.
touch.
wait, are
We
y'all
did not touch.
Okay, you go first.
No, you go first.
No, giant women who can beat me to a pulp go first.
I'm just saying, we never touched them. How do they know, psychic?
Look, here's the deal.
Magic.
Are you telling me that y'all are a completely uniquely bespoke group of individuals, also all wearing nearly identical red robes? Is this like a?
The children of the serpent were wearing black robes.
Well, wait. The people who came in to put up the sign were wearing red robes.
Well, they were wearing black.
Okay.
I could have sworn I said black robes.
You did.
I think it was black at the temple, but red when they came into the thing.
Either way, different call.
This isn't recorded. They were just putting it's all a complex scheme. Or this is like a Southern Baptist, like every other Baptist type thing. We're not the children of the serpent. We're the
Serpent's children.
We're the serpent's children. How dare you?
No, this is an entirely different cult, and you recognize that like immediately.
Okay. Are they like running at us?
Like they're starting to, like they're drawing these ceremonial daggers.
I'm gonna.
One of them is muttering over a small fire.
Oh well, I'm just gonna I'm gonna cast Banish Magic around that guy and create a field of null magic in his general zone.
Okay, you do so. Like he was muttering, and like you see the flames were starting to form into a physical entity. But then suddenly, like you just cast your spell, and then the flames just go dark, and this brazier is just complete. It just gets extinguished, and this cultist is like, "What the hell's going on?" And like they're trying to like grab a flint and steel to light the fire again, but it's not lighting.
I'm gonna cast Summon Law.
Okay.
On my shield, and so this barrel top that I have just like crudely nailed a handle to, all of a sudden like is crisscrossed with like a ton of different like lines and sigils, and all of a sudden looks like it is thicker and heavier and becomes this ornate it's superimposed like this ornate metallic spiked shield, and just a barrel into the middle of these guys, and slam the shield into them.
Okay. So roll strength, and you get an advantage because you cast your spell on your shield.
That is great because that is my dump stat. I got a 4.
4. Okay, so you smash into a cultist with the shield. We'll say it deals 1 damage. However, you also take 1 damage in response from one of the cultists.
Okay.
So this cultist, you barrel into it, and he clashes with you, and with a ceremonial knife, like scratches your arm while your guard is down. But he is otherwise like knocked away. you just barreled into this cultist and basically knocked him on his ass, and then he gets up and slashes at you.
Sweet.
I'm going to play the King of Cups to activate one of the cultist's special move, which is to either summon a demon or cast a dark spell that deals d6 damage. So this cultist sees you, like you completely, like, you ruined one of their demon summonings. You turn this barrel lid into an ornate magical shield. They like this cultist, like, he just summons like a black fire from his hand and like mutters and whispers, and he flings one at you, and you'll take let me roll a d6 real quick. I forgot.
Since it's a special ability, it's automatic. I don't roll dodge or anything.
Yeah, it's an automatic ability.
That's
you take 2 damage from the black fire.
Could I, in response to the black fire, cast Transform Fire to turn it into a white fire and roll for some healing on Trello instead?
Absolutely. I just get another card.
Cool. You instead heal 2 hit points, Trello.
Sweet.
All right. Transform this fire into a white healing fire, and then these heretics make a mockery of our sorcery. Kill them!
At hearing that, I want to unfurl my my garden hose whip and let one of these folks have it.
All right. Do you want the one who's already weakened that Trello had already smashed, or do you want to hit one of the other 3?
Yeah, I'll hit the one who's already been damaged.
Okay. That's more of a whip is more of a graceful weapon,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's more presence oriented.
Okay.
If you want to roll presence.
Okay, can do. Ooh, I got 3 6s. I mean, not 6 is the only one that matters, but I did get 3 of them.
Okay, so a 6. So you deal your damage, and you don't take any in response. You're completely unscathed, and you kill this cultist, or at least take him out.
Gotcha.
If there are kids watching, why? He just goes to sleep. Wink.
Right.
He goes to a farm upstate.
We'll take him to a Poke Center later, and he'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's one cultist down.
Oh, I
Go ahead.
I was trying to think if I had acted this turn. Because I'd run and barreled in, then they had done some stuff. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna command death again.
All right.
But this time, I'm just gonna command this guy to die. I'm gonna, let's see, what does this look like?
It's basically power word death.
Like
dude.
it is. I've got like I love the image. Like I've got this radiant seal. I was just a guy with a rusty knife and a wood shield a second ago, and now I'm like on like white flaming fire. And I think in the middle of that, my eyes turn like black, and I look at him, and like eldritch like symbols like spew out of my mouth. Not words. Like words don't come out. It is literal symbols that come like pouring out of my mouth, and they surround this guy and just start tearing at his flesh.
Okay, so roll a d6 to roll a d6 damage.
6.
Okay, overkill. Yeah, this cultist, after getting surrounded with these eldritch symbols, simply just drops dead. Like Avada Kedavra, he just drops dead.
So Celestia definitely does the slow head turn over towards Trello.
I just hit Trello with the thumbs up.
I pound it. It's not awkward at all.
These 2 remaining cultists are like, what the fuck? And they run over to another brazier away from the one that had been here extinguished, and I'm gonna play my card King of Wands to activate the special ability, and they're going to summon a Belphegor. So they're going to summon a.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So this, I'm gonna play. So normally it'd be like a small demon or something. I'm actually gonna play a second card to make it a big demon. So these 2 cultists, like they breathe over this fire and they weave a big fiery mess out of it, and this fiery tornado just lights up the entire area. Like this whole place, it's just one big fire tornado coming out of this brazier. And out from this massive tornado of fire steps these big cloven hooves, and there's this big, almost like a minotaur type of demon with red flesh, wielding this big, huge halberd that is just glowing with embers and smoke, and it just breathes smoke out of its nose, out of its nostrils, and it looks ready to charge.
Would you say that this demon has a sense of chaos to it?
Demons are chaotic by their very nature. So.
I was already looking at that spell on your sheet.
Yeah. So I would like to cast Entrap Chaos and just like I'd like to run up, bob and weave, dodge maybe like an axe blow, and then punch it in like its thigh, and put it in a bubble.
All right. So you cast your spell. I draw my card. I want you to roll. I want you to roll agility to dodge the blows of these cultists.
Sure.
So you're gonna weave through these cultists and go straight up to the demon, and I'm going to play a card to impose a disadvantage on you.
Sure.
I'm gonna play the 6 of Cups. So these cultists have anticipated that you're going to go straight for the demon because you have some kind of magic up your sleeve. So they have taken a die out of your pool because they're ready for you.
Sure. Let it rip, Beyblades. That is going to be a 5.
5. Okay, so we'll say one of the cultists manages to scrape past you and deal 2 damage to you.
Sure.
And but you're otherwise able to make it through, and you make it to the demon. So then you cast the spell, and you've bubbled in this demon. For how long it's gonna hold with your entrapments, time will tell. But for right now, it's under control.
Mm-hmm.
This is my major. I'm just being a butthole now, but this is my major arcana power. So take that under consideration, if you will.
I am.
I'm bargaining.
So I am gonna use summon law again. On my this time, like I slammed the hilt of my rusty knife down on this sword, and all of a sudden, like it like that same kind of superimposed, kind of wireframe gilded image pops up out over it, and it's like a heavy, perfectly balanced, like throwing dagger, and I am going to just chuck this thing straight at the heart of this demon that just got summoned.
Okay. So roll strength, but with your spell you get an advantage.
Is it still strength, even though this is more like a quick flippy action?
Oh yeah, you can use agility then.
Sweet.
Agility with an advantage die added.
All right. I got a 5.
5. Okay. You strike your sword with your knife, I guess, that has become this magical sword of law. And we'll say it deals. We'll say it 2 damage. Sounds right? Yeah.
I mean, it is, but since this is a chaotic creature and law as opposed to chaos, it might do extra damage. I don't know. You just decide. That's all.
We'll say
That's your
we'll say it
choice.
does 3. We'll say it
Okay.
does 3. 3 damage. So this Belphegor, it's struck, and your knife is now currently lodged in its chest
That's fine.
as it is swatting around inside this bubble of entrapments. This magical bubble.
From here, Celestia takes a moment to remember missing out on helping her family and never wanting to feel that way again, and says, I don't want this to be a hindrance for us. I don't want us to have any regrets for what we do here today. So she focuses on that fear and then casts Enhance Water on all of the dew that is naturally found underground this deep below the earth. And puts her hands together and watches the dew gather out of the air and does the condensation and just cover the face of this creature, and like just totally like blur its vision and its face just to make it, really like almost like imposing like a disadvantage on it. Just to really mess this creature's world and orientation up from the water.
Okay. 2 cultists.
I gotta love these 2 cultists who are just standing here while.
I'm
I'm working to punch them.
Standing by watching anymore. They are gonna try and run up, and they're gonna stab. They're gonna do some stabbing.
Huh.
One of them is gonna come up to you while you're casting the spell, Celestia.
Uh-oh.
I need you to roll agility to dodge.
All right. Oof. That's a 1.
Okay, so you take 2 damage. And this other cultist is going to run. The other cultist sees that you are completely unarmed, Trello. All you got is a shield. So he's going to run up. I need you to roll agility. But you get an advantage because you're wielding a shield.
Yeah, baby.
What? No one wants a piece of the champ?
I got a 6.
A 6. So you block perfectly, and you have an opening for a counterattack.
Sweet. Do I just roll that right now?
Yes, if you so desire.
Yeah, I think it's like edge of the shield across the jaw type thing.
Okay.
Which is another 6.
All right. So you hit with no consequence, with no bad consequence. So that's you. You just sock this cultist in the face and knock him over. The Belphegor is using its halberd, and it is trying to break free of this bubble that it's currently entrapped in, with Trello's knife lodged in its chest. It is letting out a roar, and with the waters that is surrounding its face and clouding its vision, it is not doing so hot. But it's currently still contained. It's the process of breaking out. It's still contained. Hilda, what do you do? It's been a little bit.
There is still a cultist, yeah.
They're both still up. The one was punched in the face.
Her. I thought it took 6 damage to the dome with a Spartan shield. I am going to cast Banish Memory, and I would like to banish this area's memory that the demon was summoned at all.
Okay.
Look, I'm here to break realities, dude.
No, it's great.
Nobody remembers that the demon has been summoned.
No, I want to affect reality that the demon was never summoned, period. Like that event didn't occur in the world.
Okay. For that,
You want to destroy the memory of all creation of that have ever happening.
Yeah.
That's going to be a little big, so I'm going to say roll presence, but you have an advantage from your spell.
Sure. That gives us 2 dice total. That is a 6.
All right. You've completely wiped away all memory. Like this demon is just getting ready. Like you see the halberd burst out of the bubble, and like this demon is like getting ready to just rip out and tear until it and then suddenly like it just fades away into nothing, and like it's just nothing but smoke and embers now.
Yeah, I almost imagine like it's ripping away a sticker from a canvas. Like I just pull out and
It is ripped away, torn
Yeah.
up, torn from reality. And these two cultists they see what's going on, and they're just they just drop to the ground on their hands and knees, and they've surrendered.
It's all right. I understand. We do some weird shit.
It's always the awkward moment where it's like, these are evil cultists, and if we let them go, they will just do more evil demon things.
Hey, we don't want to yuck anyone's yums. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. I'm trying to not have demons pop out of the town well a week and a half from now.
Right. I'll take my hose, and I'm gonna do an intricate knot to tie them up very tightly to the point where they are hurting from it.
Look, we're willing to cooperate. What do you want from us?
Well, first of all, apologize for stabbing me. First, that you have to do that first.
That's right. Say 3 nice things to Celestia.
Okay, we're sorry. We're very sorry.
That's one.
That's not even actually a nice thing. That's just the apology. They still owe you 3 nice things.
Your hair is very lovely.
Thanks. Those are pigtails. I'm glad you like them. 1.
You very like stammering, trying to come up with something. You have very nice you have a wonderful sense of style.
Thank you. And she has her like Stevie Nicks type stuff. She prances a little bit. All right, 2.
This is a lovely garden hose that you fashioned into a weapon. I like your creativity.
All right. You know, I think they're good, y'all. I think
they're converted, right?
Yeah.
They're good people
but
now.
Also, just in case, I put my hands on both of their heads and I cast Banish Magic, and I want to eliminate their occult knowledge from their, like, how to summon demons from their heads.
Ooh, successful. You've taken away their powers.
Like, I think we see their eyes like light up and like erupt out. And yeah, they cannot. I've banished their magical knowledge.
You took away their bending.
I took away their bending.
You took away their mojo, and I take my hose back.
So
what do we do now?
I mean, not horrible offenses against all of creation and try to destroy the city. That's just, you know.
Ooh, you know what? We need a breakfast place in town. Go open a breakfast place. That's nice.
I could kill a breakfast place in this town.
What a strange phrasing you're using for eating at the place.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be a good place, and like it's going to have a really big breakfast. Like, what would they call what would you all call the big, like the super big breakfast at your establishment?
But they are just looking like we're not going to do that.
What?
Why would we do that?
Because it's a million coin idea. I can't do it because I fight. Trello can't do it because he works at the chum hole. Celeste can't do it because she works on garden.
He's like, look, why are you here? Like, why did you disrupt our ritual?
You can't even remember how to ritual. You don't know what the ritual is.
I mean, those good like I think his name is Hector from the snake, the children of the snake told us to come on down because you always were summoning demons.
I mean, yes, we were doing that, but it was only to help our master.
And who might that be?
The lord of our cults.
Tell
He's
us
trying
their
to-
name.
I don't know what his.
I mean, we understand the concept of a master. Like, what we're asking you is, who are they?
And I'll play Wheel of Fortune. So let's see. Hilda, you get one of your spells back.
Hell yeah. Oh, we'll one spell for all players. Or I'm sorry, one spell out of, because I was getting back all my spells every time you played a bunch of cards. So is it
it's one person gets one spell back.
heard? Cool. One per group.
Oh.
Good to know. Because I was like, man, I'm just getting loaded back up here. Does Adrian like this?
I noticed. I noticed, but it's
You
fine.
noticed we were cheating, but you didn't stop us. I appreciate that. Narratively, it was good.
Narratively, it made a lot of fun, and I still have like
It's like I wasn't worried. Y'all are still screwed.
Cool.
Good evening, Vic. Oh yeah. So it's not Hector.
No, but I did introduce this complication. The memory of the ritual, you also wiped away the memory of their other cult members.
Happens every time I do this. There's always a complication.
It's a monkey's paw situation.
Yeah.
Every time I invasively eliminate somebody's memory without their consent, it always goes wrong somehow. Cool. Do you know when you were gonna see them next?
Well, hopefully within the next hour. We were supposed to summon our that Belphegor that you wiped away.
Wait, you can remember the name of the demon, but you can't remember the name of the person you were gonna summon it with?
Yeah, is this a Swiss cheese banished memory?
how
What's going on here?
convenient. Yeah.
It was most certainly a Swiss cheese banished memory.
I get it. It happens. Okay, so everyone's coming here.
Yes, we're supposed to meet in the city of town because tonight's a holiday.
Uh-huh.
Yes, a holiday. And,
the when we the war. Yes, I remember. I have a date tonight because of that.
Oh.
Do
Nice.
tell.
She's nice. I met her. She's traveling through town. I don't think it's going to be anything serious. I just think that we're gonna have a good time, have some food and some drink. We'll probably stop by the Chum Hall. Just to really treat her nice, Trello, after we're done with this.
That sounds really lovely.
So it sounds like there are more cultists coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the truth. That's the gist of it.
Great. So we should probably do something with these two and then get ready for that. Or we could just destroy this whole place.
Yeah.
But then are we the bad guys?
I always see good and bad as relative, but it's about whose perspective are you looking at?
Then we're the ones who destroy part of the town.
Well, we haven't destroyed a part of the town yet.
I'm saying if we brought the whole catacombs down, the likelihood that there would be some level of damage on the surface seems high.
Yes. I think we're just below my house. I'd be fine. I wouldn't be upset. I know what the cause is. Wouldn't have a place to take my date afterwards, but... Yeah.
Well, you're being very, very presumptuous.
Of my house or of the date?
Of the date.
Oh, no, we already agreed. Like, we know what this is. We talked earlier. This isn't we have full consent with each other. We checked in.
I mean, there's always, you can always stay at the Chum Hole.
That's right. Well, of course. Well, maybe I could sleep in the garden.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I have plenty of tents.
Oh, yes, Starlit Night. Well, meanwhile, these cultists are like, what is happening?
They're just like, what is happening, right?
This
Why
dating
are-
simulator of a game.
Yeah, can we go? I just want to go to the surface now.
Well, but
Fine.
but then you're just going to tell the other cultists. I mean, I guess you won't remember any of their names or what to tell them. I'll tell you what, you go that way, and we put him back towards the way we came that is like all caved in and only goes out through the catacombs.
Okay. You point them in the wrong direction, these lost souls are now going to wander the catacombs and run into a dead end eventually.
Well, they attacked us first, so turnabout is fair play.
Well, then wait, hold on. But we came into their like secret, like their property, right? So like,
Well, no, this is really, I mean, I don't think this is their property. This is really public. This is a public space.
technically, the square here, it's my property because it's below my house, right? So,
Did you buy the ground rights?
oh yeah, no, I didn't. I took the ground rights in a bout. I don't pay for things.
Like you just beat
Trello.
up your landlord once a month.
That's what I'm saying. Good and bad is perspective.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, no, they've got a chance to get out this way.
No, wait, no, they don't.
Yeah, they, Portentia went up this way, out this way also.
No, well, that's true. I don't know where she went. Anyways, we're walking and talking. We're doing something in addition to this.
All the bad guys are coming here. Why are we going anywhere?
Yeah, wait. Is this the center of town or is this just the big open cavern?
This is just a big open place.
That's what I thought. I was like, we're not here yet.
Oh, these guys were just doing a little pre-game? Like they were just getting a little, like pre-summon on.
Yeah, that's why it's like, why does Trello want to destroy this place? What is this hankering for destruction within this boy?
I thought this was where the summon. I'm sorry. I thought y'all were more important than you were.
They're gone. You've already let them go into the.
No, I yell that down the echoing hallway behind them. It's the last words they hear.
Perfect.
Starve. Jesus. Trello's a monster.
His parents were raising him right, but then they died, and so no one did. So
yeah.
And then he grew up in a bar. Okay. So they're gone. We're walking and talking now. Towards the center of town.
Okay. I did an inspiration draw for the 4 of coins. So from that, I'm going to say you eventually make it to where the center of town is. And there's immediately, like, you see all these people who are sort of whispering amongst themselves. They're all in red robes. This cult is now just sort of furtively discussing things amongst themselves, making sure that there aren't any intruders about. But the one thing that catches your eye is that there is a very large, dragon down here. It is a big red dragon, and it's currently shackled to the ground on all 4 of its legs.
Oh.
And it is currently trapped down here.
Okay. Cool. It's like us and then this just a bunch of folks in red robes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna mingle.
Okay, I don't sneak, so I either stay here or I go in there. You pick.
It's up to you also too. I mean, I flip over. I flip over my now returned to normal barrel top, like it's a drink tray, and I pull a little flask out of my pocket, and like pour a shot, and I'm just gonna walk through like, beverage.
Truly a master of disguise.
Is everyone comfortable?
So because this is utterly ridiculous, I'm gonna play the 9 of Wands. So I want you to roll presence and take a die out of your pool.
Celestia.
I got 2 6s.
Nice.
Sick.
All right. So even with, and you get one of your spells back. So even with how utterly even with how utterly ridiculous this sounds and looks, you're not wearing their colors. You have no indication that you're part of this cult whatsoever.
That's why I positioned myself as the help. No one pays attention to the help.
Yeah. So, but darn it, you just look so friendly and helpful that like several of them are just like, oh, what are you doing down here? Like, did you wander in? Another grave robber, perhaps? Might have wandered
you
in.
know what? I passed a couple grave robbers on the way in. I told them they should leave. Important things are happening down here tonight. No, I'm just here to make sure that you're taken care of, that you're comfortable. I mean, what's a ritual summoning without, a little ritual socialization?
Summoning? Oh, you misunderstand, good sir.
Oh,
We're not doing anything of the sort. At least not. That's not the main. Whatever summonings we're doing are so we can drum up enough chaos to help our dragon get out.
Oh, the dragon. Yeah. I mean, that, like I said, but lots of ritual summonings, lots of ritual socializations, lots of unleashing a dragon to, do all the important things that dragons do when they're released.
Right. And,
they don't tell us a lot when they hire us.
Really? Who hired you?
You know what? I'm low on the totem pole. They didn't even tell me their name. I just work. I mean, not here all the time, obviously, but have you ever been to the chum bucket? I'll tell you what, that's where I'm normally at.
The chum bucket.
Chum bucket. Sorry, the chum hole. I tell them the chum bucket because that way they'll go to the wrong chum place. I normally have discount tokens on me, but I don't right now. Come find me there, though. I'll take care of you there also, too. Monday through Friday, also weekends.
Okay.
I literally work every day.
You're going to roll presence. You're going to add a die to your pool because that was some pretty good role play, but I'm going to take that die out by playing a card. So just do a regular presence roll.
That is a 4.
4. Okay, so success. We're like, oh, well, sure. I mean, there's all sorts of people looking for work up on the surface. I don't think they'll really understand though. Like, but you weren't hired by like another cult, were you?
Another cult? What is the likelihood that there is more than one cult that would want me to come down here tonight?
I don't know. Like, people spread weird rumors about what we do. I'm sure somebody like, I don't know, the Children of the Serpents, those weirdos.
The Children of the what now?
And what is it that you do?
Sorry, that's my bar back. They're very nosy. I'll go refill this in a second. Did you want another drink?
Hold on.
Children of the Serpent. I don't like. If I would say before today, I've never heard of them.
And this dragon that is behind everybody, this dragon just lets out a big roar when it sees you.
Oh,
me specifically or Trello?
Trello.
Looks like the show's getting ready to start. I'm excited. I'm going to let you folks pay attention now, and I'm gonna go. Did you need me to top you off before I go?
Then he's just looking at you. This cultist, they're just looking at you like super confused. Like, I don't think so.
Okay.
I need to go talk to somebody, and like he starts to scramble towards the
dragon be praised.
Dragon be praised. Hail our mother Tiamat, thank you.
So I go back over. I'm like, hey, so they're gonna let this dragon out, which is great because I'm glad I found that out before because I was just thinking I was gonna.
I was
gonna
also
let the
thinking that we were gonna
out.
shatter the change, breaker of change for your mother of dragons type thing.
I thought that's where we were going. I'm glad I had checked out, scoped the scene out beforehand. So hey, here's the thing. Down here in this dungeon, I think we're gonna have to kill that dragon potentially. Which I know it's a very uncommon thing you would never expect to see in a situation like this. But it might have to happen.
Can we subcontract this out? Is there someone else that can do that for us? Because I just don't have the spoons. I really don't.
You know what? The gig economy is strong right now, but I don't know if we have the time. Like the waiting period on
there could be a negotiation of how much we're being paid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And what did they just told us to come to the center of town and stop what was happening, right? That's what they said.
We pretty much did this without any terms. They just said riches, and we all had like cartoon dollar signs slapped in front of our face, like Richie Rich.
What these guys? I mean, I really don't want this dragon to get loose. I mean, I know we're not underneath your house anymore, but I feel like a dragon getting loose underground bad for the whole city.
Yeah, but the thing is that we were supposed to stop a demon lord, not a dragon. Is this sort of like an interchangeable thing? Like I don't know. It seems fishy to me now. Is the dragon good? We're assuming the dragon is bad.
My parents had a friend back in the day, Major Tomorrow, who always used to say sometimes the dragon gotta get out. Just got to stretch dragon yoga style. And so Major Tomorrow had a bunch of weird sayings, but that was one of them.
Interesting. I don't know if I track. I'll be honest. What you said there, a little weird. But maybe we talk to the dragon. Maybe we say, "Hey, dragon, you good or you bad?"
He did not.
It's a perspective thing.
I guess I don't know for sure. They did not seem excited that I was here.
I don't like that there were chains on it. That's the first thing I thought when I came down here was, would I want chains on me? And I thought about it and I said, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like that.
That's what I thought. But also, remember how they called us? They said we'd been like touched by the children of the serpent or something, which seemed weird at the time. And then the dragon just freaked out when it saw me. Also,
it's not the dragon's fault. I mean, dragons are they're gonna react however they're gonna react. We cannot hold the dragon.
No, but it seemed like an intuitive thing. And so
right, but then does that make the serpent children bad?
Maybe.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's also the question: what if you said good and bad? It's kind of all in the eye. What if they're all a little bad and a little good?
That's what I'm saying. Or what if
it's
all a matter of
what if they're all just bad, but they're just trying to be worse than each other?
This is why my magic tears away reality, because it's all about perspective. Let's go do the damn thing.
Wait, but which one are we doing? Are we setting it free, or are we?
We're gonna find out which one we're gonna do. We're gonna just go interact with the dragon.
Freestyle play it by ear.
Okay. If any cultist approaches me, I punch them in the face until we get to the dragon.
Let's go tell all the cultists what we were sitting down here to do. Just put our cards out on the table. And see what they have to say.
Just truth from everybody.
Yeah.
I want to create magic. Adrian, I'm so sorry we've broken the beautifully dark immersive quality of your game by our bullshit. I want to use create magic. This is not what I was going to use create magic for 5 minutes ago. I want to use it to do theater light dimming, like the show's about to start. Major Tomorrow, it is not your fault at all. Like the show's about to start, I want to make the torches and lights go up and down a few times. No, it's far more like controlled illumination.
Like thaumaturgy.
The show is about to start. Please take your positions and silence your cell phones.
A double flicker
vibe. Yeah.
Everyone gets it.
So the fire dies down, and like you've created this. Everyone just kind of wonders what the hell's going on.
Good evening. My name is Trello. These are my good friends. Why did I move my name?
You're up on my shoulders.
Celestia, and
Hilda.
And Hilda.
I curtsy.
as some of you can probably magically perceive, we were sent down here by another organization that we did not know had marked our souls. And also, we didn't know about the dragon or anything else. So we just want to know what type
What's
of
going on?
what's like, how's it going?
Yeah. We had no knowledge of the dragon, which means we were dragon gnostic.
Yeah, we did not know about the dragon.
Agnostic.
We were
Thank
good.
you.
We were like, when we walked in here, we all agreed. Like, we were thinking about freeing the dragon. So like maybe we're on your side.
Like the person who very clearly looks like the leader of this cult, she like steps forward and she's like, okay. I get what's going on. It's just like the children of the serpent sent you because they think we worship some kind of demon lord or whatever. Is that
Do
right?
you? Well, do you?
No.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, okay, now in their defense, we may have seen some people from this cult summoning demons.
Yes, we do summon demons. However, the object of our adoration is this dragon.
Oh.
Okay.
See, and she's like, I know this is a lot to explain, but let me at least tell you what's going on here. So, long ago, in case you weren't aware, dragons are immortal magical creatures. All right, this dragon has been down here for a very, very long time, and we don't feel that it's right for a creature to be held down here, you know, for some crime it may have committed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
these chains are magical constructs of law. We can't break them with any weapon that we might possess. So we're trying to summon demons who, with their inherent chaotic properties, they can break the chains and maybe transport the dragon, get them out from underneath the city, so it can be free.
That sounds reasonable. Is there a way for the dragon to egress without destroying the town?
That is a good question, she says. She says, admittedly, she says, I have tried communing with the dragon as best I can. It is hurt. It is upset. It wants out. Like, my only we just want this dragon to be free because we don't believe in holding somebody captive for thousands of years, and we don't even know what it could have been for. Was this dragon, was this dragon simply captured because it was feared? These people were afraid of it. This dragon used to call this city its home, but we don't know.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm pitching. Like, I got an idea here. Like, has anybody tried to get close to the dragon at all?
I will actively walk to the dragon if allowed.
And it snarls at you, but like she holds up her hands, the cult leader, and she brings it down, and the dragon actually like kneels its head down and she pets it. She pets its big head to calm it down.
Aww.
Dragon, what is your sign?
It glares at you.
No. Astrological sign. See, I'm a Leo. I'm very confident and proud. It's a fire sign. How about you? I'm like a rising Scorpio sort of thing.
You're trying to communicate with this dragon using your words and, trying to relate to it. I want you to roll presence.
Sure. Could I cast Entrap Chaos to remove the language barrier?
Entrap Chaos to remove the language barrier.
So, like, it's hard to communicate, so I'm trying to make it less hard. Like, I'm trying to remove the chaos of us lacking a common language with each other.
Okay. You can cast your spell and gain an advantage on your presence roll.
Cool. 666, nice. Blip. That's a 4. 2 4s.
4. Okay. So for a 4, you communicate with the dragon.
I cast communicate with dragon. Very specific.
It's not exact, and you don't exactly know its desires or its wants, other than it really really wants to get out. It's feeling very sad. It wants to get out.
Okay, it's what I have come to understand is that it's sad. The dragon, sad. And I think that we just make a call here. We either let it stay or we let it go.
Well, I
We
mean-
let it stay, beat up all the cultists, or we let it go.
I mean,
It's two options.
I got a pitch. I got a pitch.
Okay, walk me through. I'm here. I'm listening.
What if I set it free and Celestia opens up a hole above us so it can get out?
That's fine. I didn't say that it had to crash through the ground to get out. We can be creative.
This is the
I'm
plan.
just
I
saying.
understand. This is yeah, it wasn't a new plan pitch. It was just a how we do this pitch.
So
Trello, I like you. You're smart.
So I want to cast Summon Law.
Okay.
And I want to summon a key of pure law energy to open up these chains.
okay. You do that. And well, first you start waving your hands around, and the cult leader, she goes, "Oh, hold on, what are you doing? What are you doing?"
I got this. I
want you to explain to me what you're doing, or I'll chop your hands off.
Did you not? I just said it.
If she pushes up on my boy, she'll catch hands.
I'm gonna unlock the chains, and then Celestia here is gonna make a hole so the dragon can get out.
Okay. And she's thinking like, all right, so that means we don't have to disturb the demons. Not as much demon summoning. She's like, okay.
Yeah, because that'd be bad. We don't like that.
Yeah, it's not,
And she goes, are your serpent people going to be happy about this?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they just did say like kill a demon. We did like we saw a demon on the way here. It's not around anymore. Like it's gone. So,
wait a minute. What do you?
Doug, it's not important. Details are not important right now.
No, hold on.
It was a coincidental demon that had nothing to do with y'all.
Look, here's my thing. Do the demons you summon stay around forever?
Typically, unless we dismiss them.
Okay.
Cool. It was dismissed.
You just have to trust us.
If you asked anyone, they probably wouldn't even remember it happening.
Okay, I want somebody to roll presence right now.
I'll do it. All
okay,
right.
You take a die out of your pool because I'm playing the 9 of Swords, which shows a woman in deep regrets.
All right, let me get my lucky dice here. 6.
All right. So even with the disadvantage I've imposed on you, even with like this incredible, the fact that you're offering a quick solution that doesn't require any more demon summoning, and then you're just gonna you're just gonna get this dragon out of here. Like, she just goes, all right, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, and whatever you did, I'm sure it can be overlooked. She goes, if you want to do this, fine.
Great. So I finished casting my spell. This giant like lock appears. I maneuver it over to whatever key appears. I move it over to the locking mechanism. And I look over at Celestia. I'm like, you ready?
Ready. And I do my and create a whole like 45 degrees angle up away from Hilda's house.
Away from Hilda's house. Okay.
Yeah.
You're still in the center of town, so you are going to probably break a few buildings doing this.
Hey, you don't say you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few buildings.
And here's
That's
the deal.
what I'm saying.
Here's the deal. If we hadn't showed up, those buildings were already going to get destroyed.
Not necessarily.
No.
How not?
Well, if they had enough chaos from the demons would have just blipped it up, teleported it out.
Well, they
That's
could
not
you
how chaos magic
they
works.
could have mentioned that when I said, "How are you going to get it out of here?" and they didn't. So, and
Sure,
also,
that's fair.
they're chaotic demons. Like those buildings were going to get destroyed one way or the other. And so,
Okay, that you tell yourself that, Tony. You tell yourself that.
that's what I tell myself.
So you create this tunnel that leads. It's not exactly the center of town, like but you just create this big ass tunnel that this dragon. Well, first it lets loose from the shackles. These magical shackles just disappear, and so does the key that you've created. The locks, like it all just vanishes, and this dragon like looks at you, Trello, looks at you very suspiciously, but then it sees that you did a good thing for it, so it just lets out a roar, and then it flaps its wings in this big ass antechamber, and then it just flies up the hole.
Nice.
Awesome. Hey, just real quick question: do y'all have any treasure?
The cultist like just kind of fumbles around and it's like, "Hey, you helped us. You did this for us. So here." And then they give you a diamond ring.
Nice. I slide that on,
Sick.
and then I slip them a couple. I say, "These are for you," and I like shake their hand, and when they pull their hand back, two drink tokens for the chum hole.
For the chum hole.
Yeah.
Just carve them.
I just quick whittled them. With free drink with purchase of 30 coin worth of food, of course.
Yeah.
So this
I
dragon,
truly hate it.
this dragon has flown up the hole, and you hear a lot of rumbling and stuff as it exits. So all the cultists are like, "Hey, let's go up and see what the dragon does."
Y'all have to be promised to be cool, though, right? Like, you have to be cool. Like, you cannot embarrass us or make us wish we had not done this deal.
Oh, of course. I mean, the dragon will do it at once, but I have a feeling it's going to fly home.
Okay, awesome. You know what? We can't control. You can't control a wind, can't control a dragon, but you all have to be cool, or we'll be so embarrassed if you're not.
Hey, like some of us control wind on a regular basis.
I would like to take back a spell when you played the Nine of Swords, and just to help the town, because good and bad is a perspective angle, I'd like to banish the memory of the hole being created and return those buildings to normal.
Okay. So you have to get to the surface first and see what's happening, though.
Sure.
I don't suppose we can go out of the hole that just got made.
Oh yeah, you can.
Okay, then we should.
You and
that.
all the cultists are following the dragon up.
We're
out
just
the hole.
be casual.
Yeah.
I'm always casual. What do you mean?
I tiptoe up the hole we made.
All right, so the hole leads not the center of town, but like a little ways near it, and the chum hole has been completely demolished.
Whoa! We established in canon, chum hole is on the docks over the water.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. I thought that would be funny, but
it would be funny. But I just want to point out, obviously, our canon is very tight here. And the chum hole is over the water.
One of the chum hole's competitors.
Oh gosh, we're number 4. We finally hit number 4 on the list. Hey, depending on which one got destroyed, we may have hit number 3.
Yeah.
Like
it destroyed Chum Dumpster.
Oh, Chum Dumpster. Yeah, no, they were only on there once. And so
this building is completely demolished, and a dragon is now flying overhead. Everybody in town is fucking panicking. Like they're seeing this big red dragon just sort of flying overhead atop the city.
Hey, wait, he said it's going to go home. Did he also say it lived here since before the town was existing?
At the top of the king's castle, in this the tallest structure in the city. The dragon perches itself on one of the steeples and sort of coils its tail around the building.
Well, that's fine. King has a pet now. Where are our thank yous?
And it goes to sleep.
Well, that's great.
Good. It's so precious when it's sleeping. Is this going to have any repercussions for us?
Probably not.
I said that to the group.
No.
The children of the serpents in their black robes, and they are running through the city, and then they see the three of you. They go, "What have you done? What have you done?"
We killed the demon. I mean, the demon's gone.
Yeah.
There was a dragon underneath there.
You didn't know that?
The serpent revealed to me a powerful demon lord that was resting underneath the city and was going to wreak havoc on all of creation. And
well, you picked the wrong god, duh.
No,
obviously.
I mean, so no, like lean in. We killed a demon. Don't worry. But it was a dragon, not the same thing.
Well, here's the thing. I've been thinking, and I like to think that I'm a pretty smart woman. Cortenesia Tenza? Was that her name?
Hortensia.
The bag that she had.
What about it?
Think it has a thing in it. Think it has a thing that is the demon lord. It's a key or something. I don't know. She didn't know. Not her fault.
And children of the serpent look, and they look and they see this cult in red robes, these black robes and red robes, and they're both looking like, what the hell?
And they look at each other and they start snapping.
Yeah, Jets and Sharks. Yeah.
You demon worshippers might have just unleashed an evil that's going to destroy this whole city. And they're like, no, we just set free a dragon that's been imprisoned here for over 1,000 years.
And let me point something out. I'm gonna throw this out. What is Red Robes? What is your cult? What is your faith called?
We just believe, we just follow the dragon.
Come on. You've been workshopping something. You know it. You've written it down. Don't this is the moment where you say it for the first time and you claim the power of the name that you have given this thing. Go ahead, hit it. Come on, let's hear it.
She looks at the rest of her cultists, and she looks over at you, and she looks up at the dragon who's now sleeping peacefully atop the castle, and she just goes, "The Dragon Guard."
I like that. That's strong.
I like that.
That's strong. I'd add maybe a little bit of metal, some metallic pieces that look kind of like armor, but I'm very into it. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna pitch. I'm gonna pitch this. Y'all let me know what you think, how it hits you. What is a dragon but a big kind of snake? I'm just laying it out there. It's for y'all to do what you want with. I'm just saying I don't think you're necessarily as far apart as two organizations. And look, hey, you've got a crown on your snake. Look where the dragon went. Just saying.
I take the hand of a red robe and the hand of a black robe, and I make them hold hands.
I want Trello to make a presence check. Actually, no. Would it make more sense for mind or presence? Because you're using a lot of reason and logic.
Oh, but this is all 100% on the fly. It is reason, but it is bullshit. Talk. I'm just gonna talk y'all through this reason.
Okay, so presence.
Yeah, 100% presence. I got a 6. I got 2 6s, but yeah.
So I'm gonna roll that not only were you successful in bullshitting, but actually it wasn't really all that much bullshit. You actually might have accidentally uncovered some deep lore about the city of these ancient organizations. So, yeah, actually, these two factions might have had a common interest and might have split off at some point due to some ancient reason. And now that you've set free the dragon, and it's comfortably guarding the city, yeah, they kind of see that maybe they can work together and kind of go forward. Because like all this time we thought the serpent was like a literal snake or something, or that it was a snake god. But like, what if it might have been this reptile?
Just saying, it's always worth thinking about.
You know, Trello, I don't think I've heard enough people thank us yet, and that's really bothered me.
All right, EJ,
where are thank yous?
Here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna ask for everybody. For Hilda, thank yous. For me, thank you, but also treasure. For Celestia, thank you, but also again 3 nice things that you think about them. Ideally, not just related to appearance.
They're gonna have this. But now that the quest is complete, I think I'm gonna like kind of cut to sort of epilogue of what ends up happening in the future. So after the king angrily sort of comes out and like lifts the dragon that is now sleeping on his city, the king orders the catacombs searched. Like he's very orders the archives to be checked and everything. Like, what the hell is up with this dragon that has now that is now just casually taken a nap on his castle? And what is eventually uncovered from scholars, which otherwise wouldn't have been because this dragon was completely forgotten about. But after a few weeks of research, what we find out from the scholars is that this dragon actually used to be the guardian of the town, sort of like a patron guardian. The city used to be under its purview, and the dragon was sort of worshipped as this being who was a benevolent protector of the city. However, at some point in time, a few thousand years ago, this splinter faction that disliked the authority of the king and didn't like that he had a dragon on his side decided to lock the dragon away deep underground. But the dragon is now out, and it's now back in its rightful place as a guardian of the city.
Love it.
And you are thanked profusely for helping uncover this truth and for setting the dragon free. And you all get riches.
Riches, which doesn't change the fact that you can find me working Monday through Friday, but also on weekends at the Chum Hole. Awesome. I love it. Let's do, we got 2 options. One, we can jump right into our reaction roll, or Jeremy, Aaron, I don't know if either of y'all need a break, or are y'all good for another 20 minutes?
I'm good. Let's do it.
All right,
Yep,
perfect.
let it rip, Beyblades.
All right, then we are going to do Beyblades. As soon as I find it, where did it go? Beyblades. This episode brought to you by Beyblades. There we go. Sorry. It was hidden in my scenes. Here we go. Reaction Roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game that we just played and talk to them about our experiences. Today, we are playing Reminders by Adrian Lumm. I had an absolute blast playing. It is a game that has a way heavier feel than I feel like we did justice, but I had an absolute blast playing it. Adrian, give us the elevator pitch for Reminders.
So, elevator pitch for Reminders. You live in a dark fantasy world where might all too often makes right. You are brave heroes who are here to right the wrongs of the world and to bring some good old-fashioned justice. At your disposal, each character is a spellcaster. They use memory magic derived from different memories created from your backstory upon character generation. So you are spellcasting heroes who are here to make this world a better place.
Sweet. I had a great time playing. It is up right now. Also, too, there's a link I forgot to mention earlier right below my face. They'll take you right to the game. But It is absolutely gorgeous. One of the things that I wanted to mention about it straight off is the art for the game in the book, which I don't have up, but let me see if I can find one of the pictures of on there. You got this art in a very unique way. Tell us a little bit about some of the art. I popped up one of the spreads from the itch page on the screen so that everybody can see it.
Okay. Yeah. So this artwork, a good chunk of it is stock photography that I found. But another part of it is I asked several. I am a LARPer. I do live action role play,
Nice.
and one of the things I asked several of my friends, like, hey, if you want to be in this book, you know, post yourself in costume. I'll credit you. I've got several names in the book of people whose photos like they gave to be put into the book. Um, so several of my LARP friends who are in their kits, several cosplayers who were just doing photo shoots. I just kind of said, hey, this would look awesome in a game that I'm working on, and if you'd like that, and I gave everybody free copies of everybody who submitted. I wasn't able to fit everybody in, like there were some spacing problems and all that. So and it was one of those things that it just sort of happens when you're doing a layout for a magazine. But yeah, a good half of it is stock photos, and the other half is just my LARP friends who are just in their costume and makeup and just posing for photos that I happen to just put in this book.
Yeah, it's just a really cool little piece that I love seeing. I think it's such a smart idea. But let's talk about what our experiences were like playing the game. Let's hear first from Jeremy Gage. Jeremy Gage, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but what it was like to play Reminders.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jeremy Gage. I'm the host of the Draw Your Dice podcast, which you can find on your favorite podcast distributor, where we talk with technicians, entrepreneurs, and managers of the tabletop RPG indie scene, and we get their insights so that you can learn how to make games. This evening, I played Hilda Barr, which was your humble pugilist, tough gal, and likes to get shit done. My experience with the game was great. I loved the character creation of it. I'm becoming more and more fascinated with the tarot card artifacts in terms of game design. I liked the writing of the book a lot in terms of the possible magic combinations, which kind of allow you to push the boundaries, as you heard this evening, on terms of what the magic defines as. Sorry, Adrian, I apologize for that. And yeah, I think that a question I have is, when you were writing the mechanics of the game, did you find any, or I guess what I really want to ask is, like, what are you proudest of in terms of your design?
I really like the back and forth of the cards. Of you can cast spells as much as you want to. But I have this whole hand of these cards that I am going to play and just say, hey, you get disadvantage on this roll, or hey, some wacky thing happens in the story. Like I like, and when I do that, that's what refreshes your spells and lets you do it again. I really like my proudest achievement is just this back and forth that happens between the players and the GM. The players are using magic to mess with fate, and then the GM is the one who gets to bring fate and turn it back on the players and say, well, here's what you get.
Sweet.
It's almost like belonging outside belonging, or dream apart, dream askew, right? Where, like, but in this case, everyone has strong moves and you're just trading tokens around, which I find really fascinating. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Awesome. And then we have Aaron Gilly. Aaron, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, and what it was like to play Reminders.
Hey everybody, Aaron Gilly. You can find me at Hey Gilly Gilly on the internet platforms. Organizational development consultant by day, improviser, and gamer by night. I love this. This is such a fun experience, Adrian. Thank you so much for crafting such a beautiful artistic game for us to play. I love the freedom, but also love that there are consequences. I really hate games where you're really trapped in very we have bumpers on so much of the action. and for us to have freedom on this gives us this illusion that we can do whatever we want, but then the consequences come in and remind us that we are mere mortals, and I love that. And so that creates the most fun atmosphere to have that kind of platform. So thank you for that. It's just social. My question is, across any kind of games, I'm not much of a magic person in terms of spells, or that's just not my style of play. Where did you what inspires you or influences you to have a game where magic really is the core function for the PCs?
It's funny because like it's just one of those things where I just like magic.
Mm-hmm.
I have always like even in my days when I played D&D, I always played wizards, sorcerers, things like that. I've always been fascinated with like just spell casting, like just as a fantasy trope
Mm-hmm.
and as a function of role playing games. So I thought like when I made this game, I was like, you can totally be the big tough warrior if you want to. But even then, like, and I really made it so that the spells could really function however you like. They can be big hand wavy spells, or you can just have like just some weird thing happen as a result of like just the way fate just sort of plays out. Like that's why I always ask like, how does your spell manifest? How do you personally cast the spell when you do this, so that it's something that even if your character isn't very magically inclined, they still have at least a little something they can do to make this stuff happen.
And I love that so much because I'm in the games I play. Like, I hate to reference everything back to D&D, but I'm the opposite. I never do spell casting, and part of it is that the it's always just so specific. You're painted into a corner as a magic user in a lot of these platforms. But for yours, there's so much freedom and flexibility, and that was fun. That actually made spell casting fun, and I can't say that for other platforms. And so that was very refreshing to have the ability to do that.
And that's really what I was going for when I made it, because I was just like, I only want spells to be two words, a verb and an object. However, like, because not only that, it makes things unexpected for the GM to improv through, because I didn't think you were gonna just essentially just magically drill a hole into the dungeon that you were going to go to. I was thinking like, okay, do I have to come up with a scene for, are they going to sneak into a cemetery? Are they going to jump down the chum hole and see where that leads them? What are they going to do? And I was not expecting you to just carve a hole that just leads directly in there. But I love it. And like, that's just one of those things that like, that's just a prime example of how I designed the magic system to work, is that you have two words. As long as you can fit whatever you're trying to do, however your problem solving fits into this two-word spell, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
I'd absolutely best. By the way, if you are watching right now, or if you're watching later and you have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat wherever you happen to be watching. And if we are not live still, then I'll get Adrian's attention and we'll get them answered for you. But I had an absolute blast playing. I really enjoyed it. I love the world you built. I mentioned this earlier. Like, I don't feel like we did it justice, because here's the thing: this is actually your third game in this world. I don't know the order of them coming out, but you also have two solo games in this, Forest of Memories and Castles of Memories, that are set kind of in this same setting that Reminders is. Those are two solo games. This is the first one. So tell me a little bit more about the world that we were playing in, because I feel like we did what we oftentimes do on stream, which is I feel like we actually did a really good job of engaging in like, hey, here's the intensity and darkness of this narrative. Parents have been burnt. Things have been lost. There's destiny on the line. And then, we're like, but also like I'm a poor guy who works in a bar and uses a barrel top as a shield. We still managed to chuckle it up, which is 100% fun to do. But I feel like you've created such a rich world with a lot of really dark themes. I want to give you a little bit of time to talk about it.
Okay, so the World of Memory and Magic, which is what this little compilation is called, that I have Forest of Memories, Castle of Memories. It's very, actually, I like to leave it up to the players. I don't really have like a set. There's no like map. There's no real deep lore aside from magic comes from memories, and you have to use your emotions, you have to use your feelings about these key moments in your life, and that's what you use to cast spells. Castle of Memories was it was a fun project that I made. That was my first like big solo game that I'm really super proud of, and I was like, hey, what if you just woke up in a castle and you didn't have any memory of who you were, and you had to slowly get these memories back in the form of cards, and like much like reminders, your cards represent memories, which represent your spells. And I did that in a solo, sort of old school revival style combat system. And then I made forests, which kind of further deep into the lore, like, hey, you have this big deep curse, this curse that is slowly killing you, but it lets you use magic, and you have this, and you're going into this forest because you're trying to find this witch who can lift the spell. And when I made reminders, I wanted to do something very similar. I wanted to use the card system. I wanted to use the memory system, but I wanted to make it more open in terms of like you can explore whatever aspect of the world you want. I'm not going to lay out a hard setting. I'm not going to lay out anything deep. I just have like these core tenets that this is, it's dark fantasy. It's you have memory magic and all this other cool stuff, but it's more or less yours. It's more or less up to the group to interpret, to come up with the individual town names, to come up with the individual, you can make monsters as you can make whatever monsters you want. It just very, I just leave it very open for people to come up with their own version of the world.
Yeah. I love the way that the memories both work with character generation and with spells. When I was done, I was like, oh, I know how I would do this differently next time, like just for me as a player. And that's that I probably would have like been like, okay, here are some spell ideas that I like. I want to go back and then figure out what memories would have caused those spells to be powerful, because the only disconnect for me this time, though I did try to pair it up a little bit, was like, man, I would love to be able to evoke in my narrative like some of the sensory elements and realities of that memory while casting, because I think the system lends itself to it so perfectly. But as a player coming into it first time, you learn a lot about it, and that would be, I think, my one major takeaway is like the next time I play this, want to do it the other way around, like make my spells, then go back and build my memories based on those, so that I can be recalling those things as I'm doing it, even when I'm still flexing outside of that reality. Because it's one of the core parts that I really love that you've brought home in this system, and that I feel like takes a little bit of learning. But it was also great to watch, like, Adrian jumped in literally 10 minutes before stream. Not Adrian, Aaron jumped in 10 minutes before stream and replaced David, and was able to just like immediately hop in, improv out those memories, come up with those spells, and have things blend in really, really seamlessly. It was just really, really great to watch how quick that was as you were guiding him through it. So really, really great stuff. I had an absolute blast. If you got any other questions, go ahead and type them in. I wanted to check in with Jeremy or Aaron. Did either of y'all have any more questions?
I do not.
No, that was a blast. Thank you, Adrian, for
Yeah, no
letting
problem.
us be a part of this.
Awesome.
Very welcome. Thank you.
And Adrian, you have physical copies of this game also. So you can go get it right below me at the link. There are community copies available, but there's also physical copies if you want them also too. They're gorgeous. They're right there. And they can be yours for $18
Yep.
US shipping included.
Yep, shipping is included, and my background blurs anything that isn't me. So, like, obviously, you're not gonna get good, but they are they're magazine format with very sturdy paper, like very good. Like, I really like how these turned out. So,
Awesome.
yeah. So the base game, the digital copy, that's $12 USD, and then the physical copy is $18, and that ships anywhere in the US. That's all included.
Cool.
So, I am gonna be shipping. Like, I have these out, and I'm just trying to finalize everything now. I have a full-time job and a bunch of other commitments, but I am slowly working on getting ready to ship these out to people.
Perfect.
So
Awesome.
yeah, now's a good time to buy one.
Sweet. I love it. By the way, if you want to support the channel here, we'd invite you to become a content champion. You can go to kofi.com/+1exp to help support us at any level. We like to be able to support creators without charging them anything. We do our actual plays, our interviews, a lot of our other content we just do because we want to support the party. Lots of times we'll have giveaways and other stuff like that. And the best way to stay in touch with that is to follow us on social media or to support us over on Ko-fi. We'll have some tiers and other stuff coming up soon. We do have some other actual plays coming up. But they're not for another week. We have next Tuesday. We're going to be playing Paranormal Inc., which I am super excited about. It was a great project in Zine Quest. I just got the zine in. We'll be giving away a couple of copies of that on air also, too. So come back next Tuesday for that. Hit follow or subscribe wherever you happen to be if you want to know about that. But I'm going to be traveling to Pittsburgh for the weekend. So we're just taking some time off. We will be doing Backer Quest tomorrow, which is our every other Wednesday kind of featurette on a bunch of different projects that have popped up on Itch, Kickstarter, or GameFound over the last little bit. And also we have a project launching on GameFound at the end of August, which is a great alternative to Kickstarter. If you want to check that out, you can go to ttrpg.link/DWG, which is Down We Go, and look at the game we're going to be funding there. The beta is up on the site right now. But until next time, I don't have a good way to ever close these things down, so we're just going to wave at the camera until I take us all off stream. Bye, everybody. Woo!